Hi. Hello. I do in fact have my fan going, so I'm hoping the fact that my microphone is right here, you can't hear my fan going, but it's just too hot. I'm sweating, so this has to happen. But as you can see, I did in fact decorate for fall. Yeah. I have pumpkins everywhere. I love it. Let's start with that. I love it. I love the lights at the top. I love the garland at the top. I love it. However, I start school in a couple weeks, and yeah, I started itching to reorganize my bookshelves. Granted, before I turned the camera on, I have reorganized my bookshelves like 3 or 4 times in the past week, and there's nothing that I've done that makes me happy with the way they look. And I love the pumpkins. I want to keep the pumpkins. I think I need to reorganize the books. Like, I keep moving. You can't see. I have moved this shelf around way too many times. I have moved these 2 shelves around way too many times. I have, like, my queer section I've pretty much kept it. But, like, I keep moving things around and nothing makes me happy. And I don't understand. And like, I get it. I'm a very indecisive person. Also, I washed my hair today and I'm so glad it's already dry. It's still damp, but it's like already almost dry because otherwise I would have had my hair in a towel. Anyway, here's how my bookshelves are right now. Okay. These 1, 2, 3 are mostly red shelves. So this is completely red except Cassandra Clare at the bottom, that I'll reread her books at some point. I know I haven't read all of her books, but I'm keeping them together because I probably won't reread them anytime soon, but I will at some point. This shelf is completely red books. Yeah, 100% red books. This shelf till here is completely red. I will not be reading this book anytime soon, but I know the author. You should read the book. I've read the stack of Frida McFadden, but not Anna Huang and Kennedy Ryan. And then starting down below are all my TBR. I did go through and unhaul some TBR books, but I think I need to go through again and unhaul some TBR books. Like, genuinely, I have reorganized the TBR section as well so many times. Like, this used to be an all thriller shelf. It is now thriller plus Frederick Bachman and Kristen Hanna, apparently. And then this used to be all fantasy. It is now fantasy to like here and then contemporary. And even then, like, I genuinely have decluttered so many of the TBR books because I genuinely was like, I'm not reading these fast enough. And I keep buying more, which book buying and book reading, 2 separate hobbies. Okay, don't judge me. However, like, I just keep... Like, I keep moving them around and nothing... Like, when I originally set up my bookshelves, I walked in and it brings me so much joy. It still does. It still does. However, I walk in now and I'm like, I feel like I want to change something. And then I change something and I leave and I come back and I'm like, I feel like I want to change something. And it's just the cycle that keeps going on and on and on and on. So I think we're gonna start over. Which I am already regretting this because it is 7 p.m. But I genuinely came into my library because I was like, I'm going to pick out a book so I can read tonight. And I was like, I want to redo the whole thing. And like, I want to just take everything off and start over. So I was like, okay, I'm going to bring you along with me because why the hell not? Anyway, so here's going to be my plan. And I probably won't film this part, but I am going to take all of the books off and put them in front of me. I'm going to take the TBR books and I'm going to keep the TBR books together, obviously, and the red books together. I'm also going to take all the pumpkins off, obviously, but we're taking everything off. We're starting fresh. I'll probably leave the garland up just because I know I like it and I'm going to keep it up there, and the lights. So I think I'm going to leave those. But a part of me was like, is it too many pumpkins? Is it not enough pumpkins? Like, I don't know why I am not vibing with my shelves. So we're gonna start over. Okay, we're gonna start over. I have a feeling this will be a long video, and I can't make matcha right now because it is 7 p.m. But grab yourself a beverage and enjoy my extremely shiny face because I am sweating even though the fan is going. And let's redo my bookshelves, shall we? I also have a book cart, which I think I'm gonna leave, but I might end up putting the books on the TBR shelf and then picking out new books on my book cart, because I'll come in and I go to my book cart and then I end up going to the shelves and I'm like, so then, anyway, yeah, let's start that. I have a bin and I'm gonna take all the pumpkins off. I'm gonna put them in the bin and we're gonna go from there. Like, that's the first step. Let's take all the decor off and then we'll go from there. The other side of my office is a mess, so I'm not going to show you, but I will show you the stacks of books when I'm done making the stacks of books. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, all the decor is off, which is honestly pretty sad. Like, it's kind of sad, but I'm just gonna show you here. This is how the other side of my this is how the other side of my office looks now. I have all my decor and plants on the chair, the pumpkins are in the box or the bin, and all these little fake candles. And yeah, the bookshelves, like I said, I'm leaving the garland and lights at the top. So that's what my bookshelves look like without any decor on them right now. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is, and I really, really, really hope the fan is not super annoying, but I'm sweating. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is just take all the books off, kind of like when I built the shelves and we just started from fresh. We're just gonna start afresh, and I might switch my romance and fantasy shelves. I think that, like, at this point, I'm just gonna like kind of almost like scratch everything, start over, and just see how it looks. I literally have, this bookshelf right here, the last one, but a part of me kind of wants to get rid of this one and get one of the skinny ones so that I can have 4 of the tall ones and the skinny one in the middle, so that when Christmas comes around, I have a little bit of room to kind of tuck a Christmas tree back here. Listen, I think that's one of the reasons why I was like, oh, I don't like anything, or I don't like how anything looks, because I kept thinking like, oh, well, when Christmas time comes around and I want to put a Christmas tree, where am I going to put it? Because I'm not going to block a whole bookshelf. Am I making more work for myself? Yes, I am, 100%. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to like basically consolidate these shelves, and we'll see. Also, the pumpkins have glitter. You literally can't see, but the pumpkins have glitter, so I always get glitter on me when I move them. But yeah, let's take these books off, shall we? I feel like I'm just rambling on at this point for no reason, and then I'm just sweating. So yeah, let's take the books off. Let's start with that. It is absolutely insane to see how many TBR books that I have when they're off the shelves. Also, yes, I did take the bookshelf off of there. We're gonna make 4 bookshelves work right now until I can get the skinny one, and then I'll reshuffle things again and put the skinny one in the middle. But yeah, those are only my TBR books, so I took them off the shelf that was there, obviously. I took them off this shelf. Ooh. I took them off this middle shelf, this shelf right here. Then I took them off the bottom of these shelves right there. So now I can take those ones off, and honestly, it is so cool to see the books that I have read and Cassandra Clare right there that I won't be rereading anytime soon, but it's so cool to see I have basically 3 shelves full of books that I have read, which is incredible. I love it so much. But yeah, let's keep going. I am sweating, but let's keep going. I already love it so much. Yes, I'm aware it's just empty shelves, but for some reason I feel lighter, I feel fresher. The fan is really annoying, but as you can see, I'm sweating. But genuinely, okay, I don't know if it's because I took one of the bookshelves out, which I have decided, and call me ambitious, but I have decided to only keep 1.5 bookshelves of TBR. And by 1.5, I mean I'm gonna use the bottom rows as TBR and the last bookshelf, and that's it. So I'm gonna start with the books that I have read. I'm gonna display them however I want. I'm gonna decorate them. But when I'm putting back my TBR, I either need to make them all fit into 1.5 shelves. So like, the 6 rows and 3 rows, 6 shelves and then 3 shelves. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I either need to make them all fit or I need to unhaul some more, which is kind of hard because I've unhauled, and every time I go and I'm looking at my TBR, I'm like, but I'm gonna read these books, but then like I just have so many. Like it's not even a matter of I don't want to read these books. It's I have so many, and I think I am making myself overwhelmed because school is starting and I'm not gonna have as much time to read. Like I have read so many books in the past couple months because I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna read because when school starts, I'm not gonna have the time. Which yes, I will. Yes, I will. Let's be realistic. I don't work every day. I'm not gonna have class every day. I will have the time. But for some reason in my head, I'm like, hey, there's a countdown, and I'm putting that on myself. And I apologize to anybody who I just stressed out because I'm stressed out. Anyway, besides the point. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I very slightly rearranged. All I did was bring the top one down by 1. And I'm aware that this last bookshelf is leaning forward. We don't need to talk about it. I'm not gonna nail them to the wall. I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, we don't need to talk about it. I did go ahead and plug in a little plug for my Christmas tree since the shelf is empty. So I plugged something behind it so that kind of makes it jet forward a little bit. Yeah, if I were smart, I would do something better, but I don't want to. Okay, like I said, I went ahead and plugged in a little outlet thing so that when Christmas comes around, I can just plug in my Christmas tree. But yeah, I am glowing. Like genuinely, I can't stop sweating. And the fan is not helping. It's just loud. Anyway, so I think I mentioned I want to switch things around. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do romance on this shelf. We're going to bring romance into this shelf, and we're going to end with fantasy on this shelf. And I think it's just because every time I sit at my computer, the background, it's been heavily fantasy. And fantasy is pretty dark, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think even on the TBR, I'm going to put fantasy at the bottom just because the books are pretty dark. I like the light and airiness that romance books tend to have just because they are much, much brighter. So I think I'm just going to do that for my own, like I feel like it's been pretty like dark for, that entire bookshelf, which is fine because it's kind of in the corner. The second I walk into the room, it's like fantasy is very dark. And I don't know, I feel like that's kind of been throwing me off a little bit. But yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to put fantasy like on this shelf right here, which is fine. It's still like pretty centered. We're gonna make romance kind of the focus of these 2 shelves. So let's do that before my battery dies. It is 9:35. I just finished organizing. Like, I took my sweet time. I am still sweating. What else is new? But yeah, I took my sweet time organizing the books that I have read. I ended up consolidating them onto just these two shelves, which I think is perfect because now it's like half and half of my library is read versus unread. But yeah, I have everything on these two shelves and I actually love it. Like, I moved things around a lot, but I stepped back and I looked at it and I was like, okay, like, I like that. I like how balanced the colors are. Let me show you. I was charging my camera. Okay, I want to step all the way back so you can kind of see if that makes sense here. So you can see what I mean by the colors are more balanced. So this is mostly romance, and then we've got thrillers at the very, very bottom, and then this goes back to romance, and then we start fantasy. So I have at the top my queer romances, and I'm going to keep those there because beautiful, and that selection will keep growing. I have Shatter Me because I still want all the special editions of the Shatter Me books, so that shelf is going to remain a Shatter Me shrine. And then I start here with ACOTAR Crescent City, and I have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo on display just because I want that book on display. It's very pretty. And then we go down into more fantasy. And fantasy goes all the way down to the bottom where Cassandra Clare is in the selection series. So, like I said, I think it's a lot more balanced where I've got pops of color, like ACOTAR has pops of color. The top shelves are much, much lighter, and then the bottom shelves get darker. So I think I'm going to do the same on my TBR shelves, which I left both of them are, ready for me to start decorating. And maybe I'll do a time lapse of this one. But I literally had to stop filming because I was like, this is taking forever and 3 business days and I need to just focus. So I stopped filming. That's why I kind of disappeared. But I honestly even just like that. Like, I love that there's only 4 shelves now. Like, I feel so much lighter. I don't know if I said that already, but it feels so much lighter and just, it's so beautiful. The section of books that I have read is so beautiful. I don't have any mix-ins with books that I, want to read in the future, blah, blah, blah. I don't have any of that. The beads. Anyway, but yeah, I'm going to start on this side. I think I'm still going to kind of focus romance in the middle and then fantasy thrillers on this side, which I did, like I said, unhaul quite a bit of my physical books. And as I'm putting them back, I will also continue just deciding if I actually want to keep books or not, because I just have so many. I have so many unread books and it's insane. One person shouldn't have this many books that they haven't read. I still want 1,000 books in my library, but I want 1,000 books that I have read. I want 1,000 books that I have read and loved, or even if I don't love, I have read. So that's my goal. Anyway, let's time lapse this ish so that I can, it's almost 10 p.m. I should be sleeping. I have an appointment at 9 in the morning. Anyway. Okay, it's only 10:05, and by only I mean how have I been doing this for 3 hours? But it took me 20 minutes only versus an hour to do. It took me an hour to do the side of books that I have read because I wanted to display some books, and then it literally only took me 20 minutes to do the TBR side, which I am both very impressed about the fact that all of my TBR books, all of them, every single one of them, fit on my 2 TBR shelves. And I do have some on the cart, obviously, that I'm working on reading. But every single one of my TBR books fit on the TBR shelf. I'm very impressed. I am very, very impressed. I was going to do a little tour. I will give you an overview of what it looks like. But I don't think I can do a bookshelf tour right now because it's 10 p.m. I need to go to sleep. I haven't even put the decor back on the shelves, but honestly, I think I will be very picky about the decor that I put back on the shelves because I did, put a couple plants and I like them, but I think I'm going to redo it. And I think I will do this tomorrow because I don't think I want to do this right now. But I am so happy. Like, it is so much more balanced. The colors aren't just like super skewed dark or light. This side is thriller and fantasy, so it's definitely a lot darker. But even like my TBR books, like, I kind of tried to just mix the colors. I tried to have them more balanced. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, I am very tired. I'm very dehydrated because I swear I have sweated out all of my moisture today. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm going to end this video here because wow, it's probably way too long and you don't need to be watching a video that long. So tomorrow, after my appointment and I grocery shop, I am going to decorate my bookshelves again, and then I will do an in-depth bookshelf tour, which will be the next video because this one is already too long. But yeah, I'm yapping too much. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so glad you were here while I randomly, sporadically redid my bookshelves. So my next video I will decorate, or maybe I'll decorate without filming, but my next video will be an in-depth bookshelf tour where I will also go over all the books on my physical TBR. So that should be fun. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.